All right, welcome to some rules and procedures for our class. This is for my high school classes. Um, Whenever you first come to class, you will see a bell ringer. Okay, and that bell ringer um, will have multiple choice usually, and then on your left-hand side you have a polling option, and it's right beside where you raise your hand and where you do your little smiley emotes and everything. You drag your mouse over the button that has a little A and a box, and then it will give you a scroll down menu which allows you to choose A, B, C, or D. You choose one of those for whatever you think is the correct answer, and then we will go over it. I usually leave chat open during that point. Okay, I leave chat open so that you can see. So that you can discuss things with your classmates, have a little free time there. And sometimes, though, I'll have a discussion question up that I want you to discuss as well. For my high school classes, I tend to leave chat open throughout the class so that you can discuss anything that we're talking about, and that we can have some actually intelligible conversation about the topics that we're on that day. Um, I do ask that you stay to the point, and you stay on what we are doing, but uh, I leave it open that you are open to discuss things, and please always keep it appropriate. Raising your hand. If you have a question or if there's something that you need, there's a little raise your hand button right by that polling button over on the left hand side under your name there. You click that button, and then you get this, have a little hand go up, shoot your name to the top. I'll see that your hand's up, and when I get a moment, I will then call on you, but not until I get a moment. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop exactly mid-sentence and uh, see what you need there. So questions. If you have questions, raising your hand is one way, but also you can type it into chat. Okay, you can type it into chat. That way, it's there. I can kind of glance at it, see, and I can answer it relatively quickly that way. Or somebody else in your class might be able to answer it. If you see somebody ask a question in chat and you know the answer, feel free to go ahead and answer it. Excuse me. Office hours. Office hours are by request. Uh, so if you need something or if you need help with understanding something, please send me a K-mail and let me know that you need help, and I can help you. There will also be small groups. I hold small groups on Monday, um, in which I will go and cover more in-depth specific parts of the lessons in order to help some people out. Sometimes I send those out to everybody. I'll record it and then send it out to everybody. Other times it'll just be for me and whoever the few I invited. So if I send it out to you, though, it's something that you probably should view and use to help yourself. Turning in assessments. This is the way we turn in our assessments. Like once you download your practice or your test part 2 and you fill them out, you can complete them on the computer. Some people like to print them out and then scan them back in. Um, However you like to do it. Once you get the document that you're going to submit back to me, you go into the classroom, and then there you'll see Dropbox in the top right hand corner. You go into Dropbox, then you find the appropriate um, lesson. If it's lesson 1.1 practice, you go to 1.1 practice, you click on it, and then it'll have an area that you can attach your document, and you attach your document and put in any notes that you need to put in for me to read. All right, and then you hit submit, and that will come to me. Um, Kmail is the best way to reach me if you have a problem. Is a Kmail. You can also call my office. All that is in the classroom. If you go under contact teacher, it'll show you my number and extension. But a Kmail is still probably the quickest or the best way to reach me. I try to check them quite often and get back to them usually within 15-30 minutes. Um, and if you have any questions, just feel free to let me know. Send me a K-mail or give me a call or wait to class and ask. All right, well, until then, we'll see you later. Deuces. Hello out there in digital world. Today we will be discussing economics. I know it's a head scratcher. As you can see, former President Bush there, he wasn't quite sure what economics was either. Curious George is all excited. He likes the yellow, so the man in the yellow. And everybody's puzzled about what is economics. So I want you to take just a minute, pause me here in a second, and I want you to write down what you think economics is. Hey, stop Googling. I want you to just see what you know from what you got inside your noggin. Reach in and pull it out. You probably don't want to put a new hole, so just go up through your nose and yank it out there. All right. So pause. All right. I know. See, you didn't pause me. Pause me. Come on. Write it down. All right. So let's find out what economics is. Economics. There, I'm going to give you 3 different definitions. Activities related to the production and distribution of goods and services in a particular geographic region. The management of resources of a community, country, etc., especially with a view to its productivity. A system, especially of interaction and exchange. And there's a lot of other things that you can add to make this a much more complex definition. You can add in things like consumers and producers. You can add in scarcity. You can add in things such as factors of production. And we're going to find out what all of that actually means, okay? So we're going to go over a few key terms that will be used throughout our economics class. But catch that it has to do a lot with these resources and these productivities and the distribution of these goods and services. So let's see what some of these key terms are. Oh, wait. I forgot this one was here. So, that's one of my favorite games. Risk. I shall conquer the world! Alright, so, your lesson actually calls economics a game. So, what do you think? You have rules, which are like our law, like the economic laws. There are even unwritten rules or properties of the game, such as how many times, when you play Monopoly, do you have different rules? What we call a lot of times house rules. This is how we play up in my house. Or this is how I play up in my house. So like even with risk, you can either pass out countries or you can take turns and pick one by one, and you have all these different ways that you can play. And they kind of go on those house rules, and those are those unwritten rules of economics, like buy low, sell high. Then each person has moves. Those are like outcomes, and you have different things like sales or someone producing, and you have these moves that happen, and then there's an outcome from these moves. Like if you roll your dice in Monopoly and you move and you pass go, well, you're going to get $200. Or if you're in Risk and you take over Australia, which is my favorite place to take over. I always take over Australia, win the game. But if you take over Australia, you then get 2 extra units per turn. Okay, so you made a move to take over Australia. Well, your outcome is that you're going to earn 2 extra units per turn. All right, and then, but in the game of economics, there is no real winner. It's an everlasting game. We have goals that we can set, and we'll talk about the goals a little later on. But we have goals that we can set, but they actually, and we can reach our goals or not reach our goals, but there is never an end to this game. You know, when the game ends, our whole game ends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You feeling me? What? Okay, well, so that is our what is economics and the view of economics as a game. So that kind of wraps this little video up. In our next video, we'll actually discuss the proponents or the key terms that you're going to need to know kind of throughout this class to kind of keep grasp on what's going on in uh, economics. So until then, somebody still trying to find me a way to break out of this digital prison. Deuces!